This is Literature Hub 247, a unique platform where literature is discussed every hour. This video is about an African novel titled So the Path Does Not Die, written by Pede Hollist. And I want to tell you that we have reviewed all the chapters in this novel, starting from the plot summary to the prologue to chapter 1 up to chapter 24. We've also discussed the epilogue. So this is the theme of So the Path Does Not Die. And I also want to inform you that all these chapters are linked together. Just make sure you watch a chapter to the end. The next chapter pops up. That's how it continues. So this is the themes of So the Path Does Not Die. You are welcome to the classroom. Before we continue, I want to tell you that theme is now a very important aspect of literature. Let me say that one again. Theme is now an important aspect of literature now. Because if you are to answer any question, especially in WAEC exams, any question you answer, you have to relate it to the theme. That's one of the new dimensions just introduced by WAEC. And there's a video I've produced on that. If you have not watched it, I will leave the link of that video in the description of this video. I will also leave some past questions so that you know how to answer literature questions now. So, any question you answer in literature now, you must relate it to the themes, whether drama, prose, or poetry. Let's go ahead. So the Path Does Not Die by Pede Hollist. Themes. The first one here is the cultural heritage. Cultural heritage is the way of life of a particular set of people and passed on to future generations because they believe in it. They believe in that culture. So they want to pass it to the next generation so that it will not die. Circumcision is the subject matter in this novel, and the beliefs of the people about it are presented through Baramusu. The effects of non-compliance are seen in Finaba. Despite the worldwide condemnation of circumcision, the people of Talaba hold on to it and circumcise their female children. They believe that the initiation will make her a woman and be accepted in their society. So that's their belief, and they hold on to it. They also believe that it gives their daughters the spirit of survivor when they give strength to others and draw from them. That is why they are initiated together, and they believe they share one another's pain, lying side by side during the process. They lie down together, and they believe that by that they are sharing their pains together. To the people of Talaba, circumcision is more than just cutting certain parts of the body. It makes their girl child become a woman and accepted in the society. It is an initiation into womanhood. It makes them successful in whatever they lay their hands on. That's another belief of it. That any girl child that is circumcised will be successful in whatever she lays her hand on, and wherever she goes, she will be successful. Amadu, Finaba's father, stopped the process of her daughter's circumcision because he and his wife did not believe in it. They believe it was the cause of Dimusu's death. I think we still remember Dimusu. That is Finaba's sister. This singular action marks the beginning of Finaba's problem. The family is cursed and they leave the village. Finaba doesn't get her bearings until she comes back to her source. She's in one problem to the other, from Talaba to Freetown to the US. She faces hostility from the people when in Crowder College, and her boyfriend drops her. Fina was raped and couldn't finish her degree. She had her marriage courted while in the US. Another one is Sisterhood. The spirit of sisterhood is preached in this novel. Circumcision is performed for many great children at a time by lying side by side. They are sharing in the pains of one another. Hence, the spirit of sisterhood and cooperation are developed in them. We also have theme of unity. This culture of circumcision, according to the people, promotes unity of purpose, but I'm also sound it to Finaba's hearings, not to cut the rope. The belief is that anybody going against the beliefs of his people is cutting the rope that binds them together. Finaba always remembers this, and this is why she decides to return home in chapter 7 to set up his business. There's also the theme of tribalism. This plays out in the novel where the Fulanis are dealt with in Sierra Leone, especially in the capital, Freetown. They are being attacked and beaten up. Those born and bred in Sierra Leone are arrested and treated like foreigners. Finaba also experiences this when she's at Crowder College. She becomes the object of the singing of Magai Hall, who wins the inter-hall football competition. This is also the reflection of the curse placed on her. This is also the reflection of the curse placed on her family in Talaba for stopping the process of her circumcision. The curse is just haunting her about. The Fulanis face hostility from the people and are discriminated against. They are made foreigners in their home country as presented in the novel. Kemi Koka, Fina's boyfriend, drops her because she's a Fulani girl. He claims that his family will not allow him to marry her. We also have corruption. In chapter 3, Amadou, Fina's father, works with Pahedu in Freetown after they leave Talaba. A brick business is introduced to her by Mama Gina, which is selling off unused materials at the site, which is a corrupt practice. Amadou initially didn't want to partake in it until Alhaji Umaru revealed to him that Pahedu stole government materials to build his second home, which is a corrupt practice as well. Amadou then continues in this corrupt act and making money. He is able to rent a one-bedroom apartment from the proceeds. Another instance is in chapter 5. Meredith Frank, an American who works in the Nissan clinic, is used to reveal the corrupt practices of the people. Meredith was admitted to Crowder College, but her parents objected to it. They said there was lawlessness in the country. That is from the parents of Meredith. She travels to Freetown twice a month to collect the supplies of the clinic. She bemoans the corrupt activities of the custom officers demanding money. She condemns the idea of giving them bribes when Fiona suggests that she should give them something. She says bribery is wrong and it's ruining the country. CDBKK brings his foreman, Kurubali, to the clinic for treatment one day. Meredith advises Sidibe and gives him the medication for Kurubali. After taking the sick man to the car, he comes back to Fina's table and gives her money. He then demands for a large quantity of the prescribed drugs to be given to his workers when they are sick. Fina, who has learned lessons from Meredith, turns it down, and Sidibe is surprised that a lady can do this to him. Sidibe is fond of luring ladies to marry him with his diamonds. The corrupt majority fall for him. The revelations of Sidibe KK to Fina about the people's dealings in diamonds indicate that all categories of people are corrupt. Sidibe tries to win Fina's heart with his diamonds, but Fina is not ceding. Sidibe responds that Fina feels that the diamond business is a corruption. He then reveals that all categories of people are taking part in it. He says they hide behind their clinics, churches, and schools, but take part in the business. Another one is importance of name. Importance of name. In chapter 7, the author tries to tell us the importance of name through bio. Bayo has been invited as a guest speaker to a gathering to speak on name. He says, according to Aman, that names do have mystical power, hence one should not underestimate a name. Aman also says that names define and shape who they become, quote unquote. In chapter 23, the importance of names is also revealed through Mama Yegbe during the naming ceremony of Fina's daughter. While carrying the baby, she explains that the name a child is given has something to do with what the child becomes in the future. She says, we don't just give names to children anyhow, that to name is to be given a destiny, quote unquote. There's also campaign against FGM, that is female genital mutilation. In chapter 9, Kami condemns female genital mutilation. He suggests that it should be banned and those who force children to do it be jailed. He takes Fina up on it and explains that it's not about culture, but about mercy and whether it's necessary. He brings out the difference between male circumcision and female genital mutilation. He says it kills female sexuality and concludes that it's dangerous. There's also the theme of unemployment. There's a problem of unemployment in Syria alone, which is caused by the breakdown of the civil war. This increases the responsibilities of Fina as he has to send money to Isa, her sister, who is jobless in Syria alone. Isa, Sarata, and her child, and Hassan, her boyfriend, become Fina's responsibility in chapter 10. We also have family planning. When Isa tells Fina about the birth of her second child 9 months after Sarata was born, she advises them to use condoms. She tells Isa to buy condoms from the money she sent to her and that Hassan should wear a dozen of them. This is to prevent another pregnancy and will not lead to an increase in her responsibility. This serves as an enlightenment of family planning. We also have innovation. In chapter 11, Kami talks about the importance of robots in the hospital. He says it can perform microscopic surgery and remove all cancerous tissues. Robots only requires plugging, turning it on, and giving it the necessary information. It will do the job. That is according to Kami. There's also cause. The efficacy of cause is presented in this novel. The people of Taraba curse Finaba and her family for stopping the process of her circumcision. The cause has been haunting Finaba wherever she goes. She faces hostilities and falls into one problem or the other. The climax is a courtship marriage on the day, that is on the day of her wedding. Fina also knows it's the cause of her problems. She says in chapter 15 that she's having a marathon of bad luck because of Baramosu's cause. These incidents show the potency of a cause that is boundless. Fina doesn't fight her bearings until she retraces back her steps to Talaba and settles down in Syria alone with her family. We also have infrastructural decadence. In chapter 5, Meredith complains about her job and how stressful it is. As she travels to Freetown twice a month, she complains of bad roads. She also complains of an epileptic power supply to Freetown, which affects the medicines. In chapter 20, when Bayo arrives back in America, he gives an account of what is happening at home, that is in Nigeria. He describes the breakdown of infrastructure in the country and is determined to go home and contribute to bringing a change. He says there are no good roads, hospitals, electricity and water, just to mention a few. In chapter 24, Miss Sidi, Aman's sewing mistress, complains of an epileptic power supply to her area. She waits several hours waiting for NEPA to turn on the electricity to be able to work. We also have sacrifice. In chapter 19, Fina advises Kami to go ahead with the kidney transplant to Gibson. She says it's a sacrifice as a father to his son. Finaba believes that she is offering sacrifice by taking care of Isha, her sister, and her family. She also says that for love to stand the test of time, there should be sacrifice between the players. There's also the theme of education. One of the functions of literature is to educate, and this is achieved through the themes. In chapter 20, the author educates the readers on Lassa fever. Bayo, who just came back from Nigeria, says he left his parents living with Lassa fever. In response to Kami's question, he explains that the disease was caused by rats that infested his village. He explains further that people get it from eating food contaminated by the urine of the rats. The disease can also be transmitted if someone comes in contact with the bodily fluids of an infected person. There's also the theme of inequality. In chapter 21, Kami responds to the idea of Fina and others going back home. He says they have a diaspora complex. They feel they are superior to the people at home. Kami continues, saying that people are not treated equally in Africa. He explains further that women do not have the same rights as men. Men beat their wives and girlfriends and get away with it. The next one is blackmail. We see this in scraps in chapter 22. Kami was involved in an accident when in high school. Scraps claims that Kami's father and his friend bribed him and the police. They then told him what to say to exclude Kami from prosecution. Scrap now wants Kami to tell the police that Kizzy attacked white man. Otherwise, he will give the true accounts of what happened then publicly. There's also the theme of child abuse. This is when a long time or permanent damage is caused to a child when exposed to physical, emotional, or sexual maltreatment. Mawaf is grossly abused in this novel, and she represents the abused children during the wars. She is sexually and emotionally abused by her sister's boyfriend, Captain. A guard in charge of her sister's room also abuses her sexually. Mawaf begs to let her see her sister, and the guard requests for sex. Mawaf obliges for the love of her sister, but discovers later that her sister is not in the room. He's also abusive, forcing bottles of beer into Mawaf's mouth and drugs into her nose. Captain does this while trying to carry out judgment on the guard who abused Mawaf sexually. In chapter 23, Svetlana condemns how kids are threatened, brainwashed, and beaten in the bush. She tries to advise Fina on the need to talk to Mawaf more to get more facts for her rehabilitation. It is discovered that the experience Mawaf was exposed to cause how she behaves. The last one is death. Some deaths are recorded in this novel. The first one is the death of Hamadu, Finaba's father, in chapter 3. He slices his heel on the rusty corrugated iron sheet at his place of work. He doesn't go to the hospital for the fears of Pa Edu, who might sack him if not met at the site. Hence, tetanus poisoning from the wound kills him on the third day. In chapter 7, Fina receives the death of Nabu, her mother, with shock. Isaac calls to inform her of her death, which the doctor says probably died of a heart attack. In chapter 23, Mama Igbe's husband is killed by Captain. The latter and his boys raided the village, killed the people, and burned down the village. Mama Igbe has also been dealt with when the old man comes out with a cutlass to fight the people holding guns. Captain shot him dead immediately. Fina visits Talaba and discovers that the village is in ruins. She is informed of the carnage that took place there, where many people were killed. She, however, believes that Baramusu might have been consoled in the carnage. So, we have done justice to the themes of So the Path Does Not Die. If you are new on this platform, try and click on the subscribe button so that you'll be part of this class, and bell icon so that whenever any video is released, you are going to be notified. If you have any question or comment, do not hesitate to send it to the comment section and it will be attended to. You are free to share this video on any social media platform. Like it, share it, introduce your colleagues and friends to join us. Don't forget, I told you that all these videos are linked together from the plot summary to the prologue, chapter 1 up to chapter 24. And this is the theme. We're also going to do the character analysis and the narrative techniques. Be on the lookout. I will leave the link to how to answer literature English questions in WAEC in the description of this video, and also some past questions. Thank you and God bless. Let's meet in the next class.